professor, fellow twice or fellow 3 times, Tania Israel from the University of California, Santa Barbara.
I love counseling psychology because when I was 16 years old, inspired by a high school psychology class, I decided I wanted to be a psychologist. And so I went to a university with one of the top psychology departments in the country, and I hated it because they were doing basic research and I wanted to know how to help people. And I almost gave up on psychology. But then, when I was getting my master's degree in human sexuality education, I ended up filling my elective requirements with classes that turned out to be counseling psychology. And I said, this is what I meant by psychology, and I found my career path. I love counseling psychology because when I was in grad school and I was thinking about doing my dissertation on counseling LGB clients, and I was afraid that if I did, I would never get an academic job, and my wise advisor, Gail Hackett, said, let's look at your CV. You have a master's degree in sex, and you've been teaching women's studies, and you did qualitative research on female strippers. You're already sunk, so you might as well do what you want. So I did. I love counseling psychology. Because when I went to the section for the advancement of women's champagne breakfast at APA the year I got my degree, and I said in an offhand way to Ruth Fassinger that I would like to get more involved in SAW, she asked me to serve as newsletter editor, and I got to collaborate with feminist counseling psychologists and started to get engaged in the Society of Counseling Psychology. I love counseling psychology. Because when I went to the 2001 Counseling Psychology Conference, the theme was social justice, and it helped me to envision how to bring my work and my passion together. I love counseling psychology because at that conference, representatives from SAW, the section for LGBT issues, and the section for ethnic and racial diversity came together and decided that rather than fighting over pieces of the pie, we needed more pie. And we started the More Pie Initiative, which hosts a conversation hour at APA every year that typically starts with the icebreaker, if you were a pie, what kind of pie would you be? I love counseling psychology because, remarkably, More Pie led me to co-edit the Handbook for Social Justice in Counseling Psychology with brilliant colleagues Rebecca Toporek, Larry Gerstein, Nadia Fouad, and Gargi Roysakar. And editing this book brought my work into alignment with my values and led me to do research that's relevant to community, policy, and practice. I love counseling psychology because Linda Forrest invited me to serve as a coordinator for the 2009 National Multicultural Conference and Summit, where Roger Worthington trained an overflowing room full of people how to facilitate difficult dialogues. Linda Mona talked about ergonomic vibrators, and I got 600 psychologists to hold hands and sing We Shall Overcome. I love counseling psychology because you elected me president of the SCP, and when I decided to do my presidential initiative on exploring privilege, you participated in conversations about privilege. And you were insightful and vulnerable and beautiful. And I learned so much from you. I love counseling psychology because as SCP president, I had opportunities to interact with students and ECPs who were studying wonderful topics and were highly engaged and made me feel like the future of our field is in good hands. I love counseling psychology because the SLGBTI Cabaret offers me an evening of creative support and expression in the midst of APA, as well as a venue for performing such classics as my Chinese-Jewish version of Half-Breed and my bisexual version of There Are Worse Things I Could Do. I love counseling psychology because the section for the advancement of women gave me their Woman of the Year award, which allowed me to give an address at APA about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I love counseling psychology because in addition to providing me with outlets for my creative whimsy, you offer me opportunities to satisfy my desire to edit and fix things like bylaws and award criteria and investments. I love counseling psychology because you supported my nomination to the APA Committee on LGBT Concerns and gave me and helped me to We changed our name. You supported my nomination to the APA Committee on Sexual Orientation and Gender Diversity and gave me a network of counseling psychologists and APA governance that helped me advocate for gender-neutral restrooms at the APA convention. And I wrote a song called Free to Pee, You and Me. I love counseling psychology because you gave me a position where it's my job to teach courses about helping skills, pedagogy, and LGBT psychology, mentor talented, motivated, caring students, and generate knowledge about interventions to support the psychological well-being of LGBT individuals and communities. I love counseling psychology because you gave me Sue Morrow, John Westfeld, Don Atkinson, and other wonderful mentors. Sharon Horn, Brian Kim, and other supportive colleagues. Conference playmates like Michael Mobley, Theo Burns, Annalise Singh, Jill Lee Barber, and Nathan Smith, and so many others. And my dearest friends, Maninder Ahluwalia, Rebecca Toporek, and Roger Worthington. I love counseling psychology because through all these experiences, you've taught me and inspired me and challenged me and supported me to achieve my potential. I love counseling psychology because you've encouraged me to be myself and because you've helped that self to be more focused, visionary, and impactful. I love counseling psychology because you've given me this opportunity to reflect on what this field has offered me and to express my deep appreciation. Thank you.